Stay tuned for more after the show.
Don't wanna miss this.
It's quite a work of art,
You'll laugh and cry through the lows and highs.
unless it all falls apart. Hey, pay attention! The show's about to start!
Just sit back and relax, and watch this part. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Watch This Part, a film and TV podcast. I'm Hector.
And I'm Kyle.
And Kyle said he's in a really, really good mood today. You're in a podcasting mood?
I am in a podcasting mood,
Nice,
Hector.
nice.
I don't know what it is about these two films. I don't know if it's just because I'm in a good mood, but I'm ready to talk about them.
All right,
it's gonna be a fun episode.
So let's get to it. If you haven't heard the show before, what we've been doing for the past 3 shows is we recommend movies to each other that we've never seen before, because we are 2 big cinephiles, literally. And
yes.
So we watch a lot of movies, but there's a lot of movies that we like that we haven't seen, and we recommend them to each other, and it's just we have a good time talking about it, what we think of it, of each other's movies that we haven't seen. So this episode we have Princess. Let me see if I say this right. Princess Mononoke.
Yes, Princess
Sweet.
Mononoke.
I haven't been able to pronounce it this whole time.
Did you say Mononoke or Mononoke? It's Mononoke.
Is it Mononoke? I probably messed it up.
Mononoke.
Mononoke. So it's not Mononoke.
No.
Okay. Did I say Mononoke?
I don't know. It was kind of... It was,
Run it back. Anyway.
Yeah, check the tapes.
But Mononoke, and also, is it called Mowgli?
I believe it's Mowgli.
No. Have you ever heard people? Sorry, I'm already going off topic, but there's a whole thing with Super Mario. It's like Mario. People say Mario.
I kind of like the Mario. I've never pronounced it Mario, but I kind of like it.
It's like Super Mario Bros. That's what I like,
Super Mario Galaxy. Anyways.
I like it when Mario hops and Mario gets me in the mood for tacos.
This is a tangent of a tangent, but have you heard what's going around that there's about the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Yeah.
That there's
there's an uncut.
There's
version?
a 20-minute longer cut of the movie
but
that supposedly exists.
That's just all these uncut release. The Snyder cut release. The Quentin Tarantino.
Oh my god,
cut.
the Snyder cut just opened the floodgates of everybody just being release the hashtag whatever cut.
Yes. All right.
Let's
get back on topic. A little bit of Inception.
What are the 2 movies that we're talking about today?
We're talking about Princess Mononoke and Mowgli. Colon?
Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle.
Oh, that's what it's called?
Yes, it's called Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle.
All this time I thought it was just Mowgli.
I think it's both, but...
Mowgli, Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah, Legends of the Hidden Temple. We've got Mark Summers here with us. Is it Summers or Summer? Anyways, that's a joke for no one.
So you said you wanted to start with Mowgli, correct?
Yeah, so we're gonna start with Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle.
Is this what I wondered? You might know this. I'm not sure. Is this Andy Serkis's directorial debut?
We're gonna talk about this, and it's not. This is his second movie.
Oh, nice.
He had another movie called Breathe before this, or Breath. I'm sorry,
Breath.
Not Breathe. There's no E at the end of it.
And
his next movie is Venom 2.
I know. I'm excited.
Venom. What is it? Venom.
Let There Be Carnage.
Let There Be Carnage. I was gonna say Welcome to Carnage, and I was like, that's not what it is.
Welcome to Carnage.
Welcome to Carnage.
Dr. Grant.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to get this out of the way. I was not excited at all to watch this movie. I remember back in like 2016, 2017, the Disney live action remake of The Jungle Book had just come out, and I was like, don't care. And then this was also coming out at the same time, and I was like, why are they coming out with two simultaneous? It's one of those twin movies that come out with like White House Down and Olympus Has Fallen or whatever, where it's just 2 movies that are the same thing. Anyways, and although I will say in Mowgli's defense, I keep wanting to call it Mowgli. I was doing it as a bit earlier, but I really just want to call it Mowgli. Mowgli was in production before the Disney live action Jungle Book.
But it released afterwards.
Because they had to he really wanted to nail down the CGI stuff. Anyways, that being said, why did you have me watch?
So
Mowgli
we had
today?
A theme, right? This was the theme. The theme had to do with
animal. Actually, it was that's very funny. Sorry, but the theme was animals, but we both ended up choosing movies about kids that are raised by wolves.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, man, I should have picked something else.
Which was not intended.
But then I was like, oh, wait a minute. That'll be a good thing to bring up, that they're both raised by wolves.
Yeah. Really lots of similarities in certain ways, which I'm sure we'll get into. But why did you want me to watch Mowgli?
So the reason why I wanted you to watch it is because we had the theme of animals.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was really interesting because Andy Serkis is a guy known for being in front of the camera, but not really behind the camera. I haven't seen his directorial debut. I've never
Neither
seen
have
it.
I.
But
Heard of it.
I knew that
this
this had to be at least one of his first movies that he's directed. Now, when I found out that he was going to direct a Jungle Book movie, I was like, oh man, that actually kind of sounded intriguing, because if I know anything about Andy Serkis, he knows how to be intense. He knows how to be he knows how to set a mood. And with anything that he does. So just behind the camera, I would just imagine like what he's going to do. He actually does a version of C.S. Lewis's The Screwtape Letters where he plays the main demon. And it is just phenomenal. It is so great.
First of all, I love Andy Serkis. He is the CGI guy. Like, if you need a CGI like person, creature, whatever, like, just get Andy Serkis and you're going to be in good hands. I will say, like, I didn't know what he looked like until, like, fairly recently. Like,
really?
Because he's always, like, you know, Lord of the Rings, of course, like, everyone knows Smeagol and Gollum.
It kind of
like,
shows what he kind of looks like as
like, kind of, but I never squared that circle of, like, of those two being this, because, like, obviously he's in Black Panther, and, like...
Dude, he's ripped in Black Panther.
He is. And but like it was one of those things where like I would see him and I'd be like, who's that? Oh, that's Andy Serkis, and then I would like instantly forget his face. Now it's like I've seen him enough that it's like very cool. But yeah, we talked about this is his second directorial debut, or that doesn't make sense. This is his second directorial outing.
Nice.
And so yeah, we're gonna talk about Mowgli: Legend of the Jungle from 2018, released on Netflix. I think it was initially planned for a full theatrical release, but I think with the Disney movie coming out, I actually heard that Disney kind of strong-armed this into being like a kind of a home release. Because like I don't think this movie, like I don't think very many people saw this movie. Honestly,
I don't think so either. Which is why another reason why I wanted you to watch it.
Yeah, I'm glad I watched it. So yeah, Mowgli: Legend of the Jungle, released 2018, directed by Andy Serkis. This is actually interesting. It's written by Callie Cloves, who, if you look her up on IMDb, she's not done anything except for Mowgli.
Wow.
And I was like, the heck? Like, I tried to like find information about her, and I was like, does this person even exist? And they do exist. They are the daughter of screenwriter Steve Cloves, who is the screenwriter of every Harry Potter film.
Yeah.
And the next Fantastic Beasts movie that's coming out. So I was like, oh, interesting.
I was like, Cloves, why does this sound familiar?
Yeah. I was like, so... little fun fact.
So that's not the fun fact for today.
That's a fun fact, but not the fun fact.
Not the main fun fact.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, we got a stacked voice cast in this movie.
The voice cast. Another reason why I wanted you to watch this and why I was excited when it first came out, because like, the voice cast is incredible.
Yeah,
who do we got?
So we got Christian Bale is playing Bagheera. We got Cate Blanchett as Kaa the Python. Mm-hmm. Benedict Cumberbatch as Shere Khan. Naomi Harris as Nisha. Is it Nisha or Nisha? I think it's Nisha. Andy Serkis as Baloo. We got Peter Mullen as Aquila. Jack Rayner, who's like the boyfriend from Midsommar.
Yeah.
He's playing Brother Wolf. Eddie Marsan, who I absolutely love, is playing Vihan, who's like his dad, Wolf. I'm just reading off the whole cast at this point, but it's a crazy cast. Tom Hollander is Tabaki, the hyena, doing an insane voice performance as this hyena. I love it. And Matthew Rhys as Lockwood, the hunter, who comes in basically at the last act of the movie. And then we got Frida Pinto, who is like the woman. She's like
that one woman in the village.
She's the woman in the village. She has like one line. And then we've got Rohan Chand, who's like 17th on the billing order, but he's the main character of this movie. He's carrying the movie on his back.
Wait, who?
Rohan Chand.
And who does he play?
He's Mowgli.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong, and I apologize to him, but he's good.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, the one thing you have to have is if you're doing a live action Jungle Book movie is a good kid. Mm-hmm. Okay, here's something I want to do real quick. I'm gonna pull up IMDb here real quick. So one, I will say that I watched this 2 nights ago, and I watched the Jungle Book from the 67 Jungle Book.
So the Disney's animated movie.
Yeah, the Disney animated so I watched that, and then I watched back to back. I watched Jungle Book Mowgli 2018. I have never seen any of the other ones, but I would just like to read off this list of all of the adaptations of the Jungle Book.
Oh my gosh!
All of the film adaptations of the Jungle Book, and this is in order of star rating on IMDb.
Oh, star rating.
So we got the Jungle Book, the Jungle Book, the Jungle Book, Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, the Jungle Book 2, the Jungle Book, Rikki Tikki Tavi, The Adventures of Mowgli, the second Jungle Book, Mowgli and Baloo, Elephant Boy from 1937, don't know what that is, the Jungle Book, I'm sorry.
The Jungle Book.
The Jungle Book, Mowgli's Story.
Oh, that's a great one.
Okay, from 1998.
Yes.
Apparently direct to video.
Wait, really quick. That Jungle Book, the guy who plays, I don't know if you're a big Disney Channel fan, the guy who plays Johnny Kapahala, it plays Mowgli in that movie.
I don't know who either of those people are, but I love it. Just to finish off this list, we got The White Seal, Mowgli's Brothers,
don't know any of them.
And the Jungle Book, Return to the Jungle. I don't know how many Jungle Book 2s. There's almost as many Jungle Book 2s on this list as there are Jungle Books. But yes, I just felt like it was very necessary to just get that out there for the listening audience. You know, we report the facts here, folks.
If you're looking for a Jungle Book movie, you make sure you're watching the right one. There's too many.
But yeah, I mean the Disney Jungle Book film, the '67 one, is delightful. You know,
it's my favorite Disney film of all time. Yeah.
Baloo is the best character in both of those movies. This one and the Jungle Book. Although they are completely different characters.
I will say Bagheera, I kind of liked Bagheera in this one too.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into it. So we're talking the Jungle Book. Or sorry, we're not talking the Jungle Book. We're not talking the Jungle Book at all. Actually, we're talking Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, which is a completely different thing.
Which is adapted from Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book.
Yeah, whatever. That guy died like 100 years ago. No.
Damn.
Well, it was written in like the late 1800s or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sure he's a delightful man, and may he rest in peace. So yeah, I guess I'll explain Mowgli Legend of the Jungle. Well, I think everybody basically knows the story of the Jungle Book, but a child is left in the jungle. His parents perished, and he's discovered by Bagheera the panther, who takes pity on him in this one moment, and decides to bring him to the wolf family to be raised, because they know they'll take care of him, and then we sort of cut 10 years. It's always like you see the baby and then cut 10 years later, and he's like a little kid. I don't know, how old is he? Do you think? Like
probably like 8 to 10.
Yeah. So this movie is much more focused on all the the different factions. Like the main protagonist, Mowgli, he's part of the wolf pack basically, who's essentially all of the wolves. He's part of a small family, and then there's also Bagheera the panther and Baloo the bear, and that's basically it. And then there's the villainous and sinister Shere Khan and his minion Tabaki, funny name, Wacky Tabaki. I'm sure they made that joke during production. That must have been anyways, that must have been a joke. Bagheera brings the little boy to the wolves, who instantly take to the little boy, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna raise him. And the wolves have a meeting, and they're just want to know, are we going to keep this kid, or what are we going to do with him? Right. And Shere Khan famously hates humans. What a racist. And
I never thought of it like that.
and so he wants to. So obviously he wants to eat this kid. He's the one that killed his parents, which I don't think is a thing in the Jungle Book Disney thing. I think they added. I think that's an extra added layer that he. I don't know. Maybe it's implied. Whatever. I never read the books, yeah, so maybe somebody can comment online and correct me. He's and Shere Khan is not part of the pack. But they sort of have an uneasy alliance where, as long as everyone follows the rules of the jungle, everything's okay. And the wolves stand up for Mowgli, and he becomes part of the wolf pack, and we sort of cut 10 years later, 8 years later, however long it is. and he's a man pup, and or what do they call it? Yeah, man cub. Sorry, man. Yeah, but basically we're getting, this is sort of the dark and gritty reboot slash retelling.
This isn't the Disney,
this ain't your mama's Jungle Book.
Hey, yo mama. Yeah, but no, it's totally different. Before I don't know if you have this written down, but one thing that kind of made me want to watch it is that I was watching an interview of Andy Serkis, and he was talking about how this is going to be grittier, this is going to be more dark, like it is on, like in the book, how it's meant to be. So Andy Serkis's character that he plays specifically, which is Baloo, in the Disney version, he's all like, the bare necessities.
Yeah, he's like happy, all American kind of
happy-go-lucky.
Yeah. Why I oughta.
And in this one, he says that he wanted to do it more like the book. In the book, he's more of a, like a soldier, like a.
They push that hard in this movie.
Like in boot camp, he's
he's like a drill sergeant.
Yeah, almost. Like a drill sergeant, like more like being really, really rough and really showing a lot of tough love to Mowgli and trying to like toughen him up.
Rough around the edges, but soft on the inside.
But he's
kind
like,
of thing.
Rah, 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 like more like
I love Andy Serkis's portrayal of Baloo in this movie. It's so weird. His face is like lopsided, like he had a stroke or something.
I think
that's just
CGI though.
It is, but he's got such a funny looking face, and then I mean he's obviously doing like the Andy Serkis like I don't know if it's Cockney, but like whatever accent where he's like, "Oi, what's going on over here, mate?" That was absolutely terrible. I apologize to.
Get your butt down on the ground.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was really good. I'm not gonna do that, but like I'm scared enough to.
Can you imagine the bare necessities of Mother Nature's recipes?
That'd be great. I'd love that.
Peaky Blinders.
That should be an outtake. Is he in Peaky Blinders?
I don't know. He should be.
He should. Baloo the bear should be in Peaky Blinders. To be clear, not Andy Serkis.
We're gonna take it up with Baloo over there.
Anyway, he's great. Okay, so. I think the main thing about this movie, and even Andy Serkis would admit this, is that it's really like a CGI showcase of this, like these kind of animals, and they kind of do this weird thing where they sort of morph the actors' faces with the animal, kind of. Right. It's most noticeable on Baloo and Akela the wolf to me, although like I know like. I don't really see Benedict Cumberbatch that much in Shere Khan.
It's more like
I think it's there, but it's for whatever reason as a tiger, maybe at the stripes or whatever, it's harder to see. Anyways, I love the CGI in this movie. I know I read some comments online that people disliked it. This is to me vastly superior to like the Lion King, the 2019 Lion King remake.
Definitely. Yeah.
Because it is more cartoony in this. But the animals are so much more emotive. Like you can like see the emotions on their face, and it's like it's really good at capturing that. Like, so I think this movie does like a really good job of writing the line where they are cartoony, but it's mostly just for expression. But they take all of the animal stuff seriously. That's what's dark about this movie. It's not like it is kind of silly. Like it is still about animals raising a kid, and it's sort of like trying to be a family, but it takes the aspects of like being part of the animal kingdom seriously. Right. And like what they're hunting animals, they're like murdering elk or whatever, or like deer.
I feel like
to like eat.
In like the Disney one, it's like it's supposed to be a family film, and where there's danger. Yes, there's danger, but it's not taken as seriously as it is in this one.
Like the snake trying to eat him. It's just kind of like, oh, that's fun.
It's kind of played for laughs, and it's kind of like, oh, what a bumbling,
Also, there's like no plot to the Disney Jungle Book. It's basically like, oh, Shere Khan's coming back. We gotta take you to the humans, and like. Some shenanigans happen on the way of them walking over to the human village. Like that's basically what happens in that movie. This one has a more of like a faction-based thing, and it's got like these subplots of Shere Khan is killing the humans' cattle, and like he breaking the rules of the jungle, and it's more political in a way, I guess you could say. Like it's kind of it's weird to say that word in relation to this movie, but like there is a politics to the jungle and the hierarchy and things like that. What I like about this movie is that you get to spend more time with
It's gritty.
it is gritty. That's not what I like about it. Although some like pretty messed up things happen in this movie.
Yeah, they do.
We'll get to it. But I just like there's more focus like in I'm just comparing this to the Disney one, because so like in the Disney one, like you only see the wolves in like the one scene where they take him in, and they're never like shown again, and they're ostensibly his family. In this one, he actually has like a relationship with them. He definitely with his mom.
Yeah, it shows more of their relationship.
His relationship with Baloo makes way more sense in this, because in the cartoon, he literally meets him on the road, and then within one day, Baloo is like, "Yep, I'm your surrogate father. And you're like now my son forever, and I'm gonna cry." Like they spend a total of 24 hours together in that movie, and this one he's there the whole time. He helps raise him. It makes sense that they'd have like a close bond and stuff. Same thing with Bagheera. I mean, Bagheera's more in the cartoon, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I will say that. Having said that, I mean, I do like the focus on, but I don't know if there's too many characters in this, but I wanted more Baloo, like I wanted more Bagheera and stuff, like more of that, and a lot of it is Mowgli like sort of like going out on his own and like messing around in the jungle and getting into shenanigans and falling into tiger pits and getting saved by elephants,
running around in the trees.
Yeah, I like that mossy elephant. You know, the main elephant. Yeah. He like gets his tusk back. I like that. Anyways,
spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. Yeah, spoilers for Mowgli, the Legend of the Jungle. You're fine.
Yeah, so no, I definitely get that. So, another thing I liked about this movie was that Ka's role in this movie is like more of like the narrator. So Ka is voiced by Cate Blanchett, who played Galadriel in Lord of the Rings, and ostensibly plays the same role in this movie, where she's just like a mysterious being that like gives like a prophecy kind of at one point, and that's pretty much it. I don't understand what the point of Ka is in this movie, if I'm being honest. She doesn't try to eat him, right?
No, she doesn't. Yeah. There is a fake out at one point where like you think she's gonna eat him, but then she's like, nah, and then like saves his life and like
nah.
more like, nah, I'm not gonna eat you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That has been Watch This Part. Directed by Robert B. Wade. Anyway, yeah, I love how huge Ka is in this. It's like a massive freaking python, like like humongous. So you've never seen a snake that big. Anyways, it's so I just want to talk about all the animals real quick. Sort of go through. Bagheera, awesome. Nice. Ka, cool, but I'm not really sure what the point of Ka is in this movie, except for like they do weird prophecy sequence, which is I'm not totally sure what it's doing in this movie.
Scaring the crap out of me.
Shere Khan, pretty cool. I really like that scene when Mowgli's under. I really keep wanting to say Mowgli, and I keep catching myself every time I say Mowgli. But the scene where Mowgli is like underwater and Shere Khan has got like a blood covered face, and he comes to the water and he's just getting a drink, and then he like dips his face in the water and the blood just goes like out into the pool of water. Really scary, like honestly, like
creeps you on your toes.
The wolves are cool. So the leader wolf, Peter Mullen. Have you ever watched what is it called?
I don't know.
Have you ever watched Ozark on Netflix?
Oh, with Jason Bateman?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. He's in that show. I've
been meaning to. I heard it's really good.
It's pretty good. Yeah. It's pretty good. He's in that show, but like his wolf character, like his wolf's face literally just looks like his actual face.
Ozark. Oh, okay.
like he kind of like, it's so funny. Like he's the one that looks. I mean, Andy Serkis also.
It kind of goes in and out for Andy Serkis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, going back to like his face is like disfigured. Baloo's face.
For Baloo's, yeah.
I think it has to do with like just like the fights that he's gone in.
That makes sense.
Because he is more like a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
He's seen some action.
Like
he's fought like in battles. So like his face is just I'm pretty sure he's taken a bite to
I
the
think
face.
he's got some scars and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
so like
Yeah, we also have Tom Hollander as Tabaki.
Not Tom Holland.
Yeah, not Tom Holland. Thank God. I like Tom Holland, but
I do.
He's also like
in
every single movie now, which is a little much. Tom Hollander, who plays Cutler Beckett in Pirates of the Caribbean. He probably my second favorite character in this movie is just this hyena who's just like freaking like
just bat crap crazy.
He's unhinged performance.
That's how he is in the book too, I believe.
Oh really? Yeah. Have you read the book?
A little bit of it. But I got bored in elementary because I was like, this isn't like the Disney movie.
I can understand that. I know. So I did look at the reviews online for this, and like most of them are like pretty mediocre. I will say that I liked this movie a lot more than I thought I was going to. I said at the beginning, I was not interested in seeing this movie at all, and I was pretty I was like, okay, this is kind of cool.
I was pretty satisfied.
Like I was like, all right. There in the I will say in the cartoon, Baloo calls Bagheera Baggy at one point, and I was really hoping he would call him Baggy in this movie. It's a funny nickname. Anyways, this is also the second movie in which Benedict Cumberbatch plays Khan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look
at that solid. I probably shouldn't have yelled Khan that loudly. I might have blown out the mics a little bit. Yeah, it was cool. I also thought it was cool that Christian Bale reprised his role as Marvel's the Black Panther in this movie.
Oh my god.
Okay.
What's up with Christian Bale just playing black animals?
What else has he played a black animal in?
Bat.
Oh, okay.
Batman.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, he didn't literally play a bat.
He's a freaking Batman.
I mean, he's a white animal named a human, and he's in a black suit.
Does it come in black? Black. Come on.
I was trying to think of another like line I could say, but
but
I don't have to save you either. Or I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you. Anyways,
he doesn't save Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah. Okay, so basically the thrust of this movie is that there's going to be the running. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's like an event where they pick the wolves.
They're picking the wolves for the hunting pack.
Nice.
And if you don't
make a tryout.
If you don't make it into the hunting pack, then you are kicked out of the tribe, and basically you're sort of sentenced to death. You gotta do
the walk of shame. Is it death or is it just like exile?
I mean it's exile, but I think in most cases that means death.
Okay. Because the jungle is a freaking kind of treacherous place.
Yeah. And you know, Mowgli.
Mowgli.
I don't know why I want to call him Mowgli.
So what's up with Mowgli?
So, Mowgli is training to be able to keep up with the other wolves and make it through the running so he can truly be a part of the pack, which is the only thing he wants. And he's a human child, so like obviously he's not going to be able to keep up. But there's like a little thing which I wish they would have gone more into of like Baloo's like all right, you're not a wolf, but you know, you've got hands, use them. Like learn how to like go full jungle to jungle, or Georgia the jungle, not jungle to jungle. Jungle to jungle.
Jungle to jungle is with Tim Allen, isn't it?
Is it Tim Allen or is it Jim Carrey?
It's Tim Allen.
Okay. We don't need to talk about that movie. that is a movie we will not ever be talking about on this podcast.
Aw. No, so he's...
One thing about this movie is I was just watching it and I was just going, where's Rosie O'Donnell as the ape? Isn't she gonna come in and trash the camp? I'm sorry, I'm making such terrible jokes. I'm making terrible jokes. Oh gosh. Okay, how do we get back on track, folks? How do we get? I don't know how to get back. Okay.
Don't stop your crying, it will be
that song
right.
legit makes me cry. It's so embarrassing, but like. I think I saw that movie like at an emotional turning point in my life or something.
How old were you? It came out in '99.
I think that was 7, so I don't know. I think a 7-year-old is allowed to cry at Tarzan. I mean, anyways,
guess.
It's a beautiful song.
Anyway,
yeah. So we get into this. We finally get to the race, and Mowgli has made a deal with Bagheera that if he doesn't make the cut, that he will go live with the humans, which is where he
Right.
belongs. And he actually does pretty well in the race. There's a pretty cool chase sequence of them like running through the forest.
Yeah.
Like I said, the film looks really good. I don't know how much of it was like the forest was
Practical,
CGI,
yeah.
but anyway, I just think it's a cool looking movie.
Yeah. I was really sad when he didn't win. Because
Yeah,
it was like an unfortunate situation that he lost that race. Right?
Well, yeah, like the whole thing is that like Bagheera was trying to get only Mowgli because he really can't be a part of the wolf pack. Like as much as he wants to be, he can't be, and or at least Bagheera thinks like no matter what happens, like even if you stay a part of the wolf pack, Shere Khan is like he's breaking all the rules.
Everything just comes from a place of like, yo, we just want you to be safe.
Yeah,
like,
they've got love for him, but he needs to be where he's
supposed to be.
He is safe. Yeah. So basically, Bagheera goes out of his way, and like at the very last second, catches him, and Mowgli loses the race, and all the other wolves make it through, and we get to this sort of very dramatic scene, and where he's essentially, he's expelled from the tribe, right? He's like, sorry, pal, like sorry about ya, and so that's going on. He sort of goes out on his own, and he's sort of like trying to figure out his own stuff. Meanwhile, we get like a cutaway to Aquila leading the wolf pack for their hunt after, and it's the first hunt after. So all the other dogs are dogs. All the other wolves are like, haha, loser! Like, you didn't cut out this part. Cut out this part. So basically, Mowgli's being sad, and we cut to the wolf pack doing their kill, and it's like as soon as they cut to that, it's like, okay, something bad's gonna happen. Like clearly, Aquila's about to die. Aquila, who's the leader of the wolves. He's sort of the one thing keeping Shere Khan at bay from eating Mowgli's delicious flesh. And so we get this thing, and he doesn't get the kill. Which basically means that he is no longer fit to be the leader of the wolf pack.
Right.
So we've got this unstable situation where there's no longer a leader, and Shere Khan is. I guess we didn't even talk about. There was that whole sequence where Mowgli gets like lost in the jungle, and then Shere Khan finds him with the monkeys, and cuts his arm, like puts digs his claws into his arm like 2 inches deep, and like scrapes it down. Which is when he's saved by Ka, the python. Real quick, so basically, Shere Khan is coming, and he's like, hey, Aquila, you didn't get the kill, you're out as leader, which basically means I can rain chaos because nobody can stop me right now. There's no unification of your pack. And Mowgli goes and lights a branch on fire, and uses that to like sort of end the violence, and like scare Shere Khan away. And in doing so, not only is he not part of a pack now, but he has brought shame to himself and the wolf pack because he has used a man tool, or that sounds weird to say.
No, but it's
a tool of man. And now he's like, he is like, he's out. Like, you are banished, and how does he? Because I know he's in the cage in the. How does he get to the village?
I thought he just like walks there.
Does he just walk there, and then they all surround him, and he's like feral at this point.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to keep people away. I think he's got the burning branch still.
And doesn't Frida Pinto like look at him and like kind of takes pity on him or something like that? I haven't seen this movie since I saw it.
Okay.
In 2018, so.
Well, okay, so this is on me then. Basically, he does see Frida Pinto earlier, like when he steals the fire, he like goes up and he's like, ah, and then she like gets scared, and then he steals the fire. Anyways, I can't remember if he just goes to the village of his own accord, or if they sort of like herd him there. I honestly don't remember. But anyways, he gets to the village. He gets surrounded. He's wild, feral. He's freaking out, and he's just like swinging his weapon around, trying to keep everybody away from him. And then enter Matthew Rhys as Lockwood, who beats him on the back of the head with like a stick or the back of his gun or something, knocks him out.
I don't know if you felt this way, but I feel like everything from the village was just like stopped the movie cold for me.
It was weird because everything for the story so far had like a nice flow, and then the third act of this, like from this moment where he gets captured by the village, it goes simultaneously slowly and so quickly because like a bunch of time passes, and it just felt really rushed. I wish this movie had like an extra 15 or 20 minutes. Like I think this movie is like an hour 45, something like that. It could have gone to 2, like just because I felt the third act was really like you don't get enough out of it. But anyway, so Mowgli's in a cage in this village. We get some scenes of Matthew Rhys trying to feed him food, and he's like, "What the hell is this?" And he knocks it away. Kids are poking him with sticks, and Matthew Rhys sort of comes to an understanding with him, lets him out of the cage, starts teaching him. He doesn't understand their language or anything, but he starts teaching him how to use a knife, how to like gut a cow, or maybe it's not a cow. Maybe I don't think they kill the cows in India. So it's like another animal. Anyways, so we get like this montage, and I think Bagheera comes and visits him at one point and just says goodbye, basically. Right. But then this is mostly like the animals are out of it until the very end, and we get a montage of him like growing. He gets a bath from Frida Pinto. That's like her one scene.
Lucky.
and he gets a bath. He gets some clothes. Sort of like learns how to befriend the people there.
Right.
And then at this point, kind of like Lion King, his old animal friend comes out. I think it's like his brother, Wolf. Comes out and is like, hey, Shere Khan's kind of like screwing everything up, and like the wolf pack is fractured into factions. So anyway, so we talked a little bit about the darkness. There hasn't been too much darkness or like just like messed up things happening yet. There is like blood, like Mowgli gets beat up a little bit. He does get like his arm pierced deeply by the tiger claw. Scene? Well, we're getting to the scene where basically after a drunken night of like partying, Mowgli helps Matthew Rhys back to his tent, I guess it is.
I will say before we get into this scene, I was looking at some comments online that people were watching this with their families, and kids got scared.
I was gonna say
crapless.
I feel really bad for any like families that watch this with their kids, because this is not really a kids movie at all. Like this would like, unless you're like 12, like you're gonna have it's gonna scare the crap out of you, or just make you really
like
sad.
I just found that so funny, like how, I don't know, it's crazy.
I guess we should mention it, that we didn't even bring it up, but Mowgli's like best friend is an albino runt wolf, basically named Boot, who's voiced by it's Andy Serkis' son, I believe.
Oh, really?
And there's a scene basically as Mowgli is sort of on his way out of the wolf pack where he's just in a bad mood, and Boot tries to cheer him up, and he's like, "Get out of here, we're both worthless pieces of crap, like, I hate you and your face and everything about you." And then Boot's like, "Oh, okay," and like walks away, and it's like, oh, I guess they're gonna reconcile later in the movie. Cut to months later when we get to this part in the camp when Mowgli's taking Matthew Rhys back to his tent and drops him in the bed. Drops him in the bed and starts to just like look around and see all the stuff he has. Matthew Rhys is a hunter, so he's got like trophies, and Mowgli starts to be like, oh, this guy is like he just kills animals for sport, which is big no-no in the animal kingdom. And walking through, and then we get to Boots' head mounted on the table there. It's super creepy. Not only is it like it's a gut punch.
It's a jump scare, but it's
a jump scare. It's a gut punch. I wasn't expecting it. I was like, oh, damn. But also
he ain't gonna be in Jungle Book 2.
Wait, which Jungle Book 2? There's like 4 of them.
Oh, Mowgli 2, Legend of Legend of
Mowgli colon Welcome to the Jungle.
With the number 2.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Anyways, oh my god. The look on this wolf's face, he literally has like a shit-eating grin, like, which I don't know
like
how
a
it happened.
Joker style.
Yes,
like, yeah.
and which I don't know how. Like, I don't know if it's like Matthew Rhys killed the wolf and then like formed his face into a smile. I don't know. It's really weird, but it really is like the gut punch of the movie.
I thought he was gonna talk. Like I thought he was like,
like it's like the don't they do that in like Jurassic Park 3 where it's like they think the Velociraptor's in the tank and then it just goes.
Yeah, its eye moves.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, none of that happens. He's just dead. It's unceremoniously killed off screen. Man. And this is what sort of spurs him into his final thing, and he's like, okay.
His final form.
He finds the tusk of an elephant that Matthew Rhys had shot off, and luckily he's good personal friends with that elephant, so he knows he brings it back to him and sort of enlists the help of the elephants. He goes and gets the wolves to join him. They're reluctant to do so at first, and then we get. This is the part like where I was like, okay, everything's moving everything stopped and now everything's moving way too fast. Like, what is happening? I don't really understand like what the status of the wolf pack is, but they're just sort of in shambles apparently. Whatever. So we get this final thing where he basically, he literally stands in a field and goes, Khan! And that's how he gets the tiger to come and attack him. And then we get this fun. Actually, it's pretty messed up to the like he like surrounds the Shere Khan with elephants, and they're just like beating the crap out of him to keep him in this little thing. But Mowgli's got his knife. That's not a knife.
It's got a knife.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Use your arms, use your legs, and your knife.
Yeah. Okay, can you do Baloo doing the "That's not a knife, this is a knife" from?
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Hell yeah.
Venom.
Is he gonna be in Venom 2?
I don't know. Probably.
He should be.
Make a cameo.
Anyways.
Make a little Hitchcock cameo.
We're
almost there.
Yeah, we get the final thing. Matthew Rhys tries to shoot the tiger, but then the elephant to get revenge. This is the most weird part of the movie. The elephant just like he doesn't notice an elephant stampeding towards him, and just like
you'd think the ground would shake.
Like, you would think you would feel something. Anyways, this elephant like headbutts him, and he goes. The elephant headbutts him. He goes flying like 5 feet, like 50 feet back, and then it cuts to an overhead shot, and he's only fallen like 2 feet back, and he's like moving around on the ground. So I guess he's still alive. I thought he was dead, but like it showed him moving. Like the last thing you see of him is like, ugh! So I guess he's alive. I don't know. Again, this is one of those things where the end of the movie is kind of a mess. It's not really resolved. But Mowgli is now the Akela, the wolf leader, gets shot on accident by Matthew Rhys, and in his dying breath is like, Mowgli, you must lead the people now.
Rosebud.
Yeah. I famously have never seen Citizen Kane.
What? Oh my god!
I've told you this before.
Oh my god! What are you doing hosting a movie podcast? You've never seen Citizen Kane.
I have never hidden this. I've told you this before. Like I said, I have a lot of blind spots.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? I'm a populist. I'm a modern populist.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's wrapping up. Mowgli becomes like the leader of the wolf pack.
Yeah, it ends on a kind of a messy way, but
it felt like I said, it just feels
rushed.
very rushed, and I wish it had an extra 15 minutes to like tell us what happened to Matthew Rhys, like either kill him or don't leave it like ambiguous.
But movie is better, way better than I thought it was going to be.
I will say again, I dug the vibe of this movie.
Yeah.
Like I kind of liked just like hanging out in the jungle. I loved the CGI. I know some people had a problem with it. I thought it worked really well.
There were a lot of beautiful moments. There's a lot of beautiful cinematography of the jungle, of like the which I really enjoyed. I really liked Christian Bale's interpretation of this character, and I thought he did a really good job. I thought he did he was one of the best ones, and where other than the kid who played Mowgli.
Yeah, again, I just want to shout out this kid who, I mean, if the kid had sucked, this whole movie would have fallen apart.
Yeah,
he does a good job of just of like shouldering the movie and
working with
being
things that
anchor.
are not there.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't love this movie. I thought it definitely had issues, but I was just happy that I just went in not expecting anything, and I was sort of like, oh, this is kind of something
surprising. Yeah,
and like it's a movie
that was exactly my attitude toward it and like my response to it. So I'm glad that you felt the same way.
So I would definitely check it out on Netflix. It's Netflix original, so that's the only. It's never going to be released on physical media. So
sadly,
Netflix or nothing. Well, maybe they have like Netflix discs if you have.
Oh, maybe.
I don't think anybody uses that service anymore, but it's still a thing. I don't know. That's always been a weird thing. Netflix physical media.
I forgot about that.
What?
The Netflix discs.
Yeah, you can still sign up for it. You can pay an extra $5 a month and get sent a disc. That's just a tangent slightly. That's always been a weird thing about Netflix and just like anything that's straight to streaming is like, oh, is that going to get a physical release? Like, listen, Hector and I are both physical media kings, and we like to have physical media because it makes you better than everyone else. And
he said pretentiously.
But there's very few things that are released on Netflix that get like I got The Haunting of Hill House season 1 on Blu-ray.
Is that a Hulu thing?
What?
Is that a Hulu thing? Oh,
no,
it's
that's
Netflix.
Netflix.
Okay, yeah.
Which was
they released the first season of Stranger Things, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they had like the VHS.
Yeah,
sort
I
of
wanted
thing.
that, but none of the other.
Yeah, that's what like season 1 of Haunting of Hill House, but not season 2. Like they're very inconsistent.
Season 1 of Stranger Things, not season 2.
Yeah, it's annoying, and it's like it makes anyways. Physical media is dying, so buy it while you can.
Yes.
Anyways, that was all I had to say about that. But yeah, I think. Oh yeah, another thing that the show housekeeping was that I think previously we'd done letter scores. I would like to formally request a change to blank out of 10.
Either you loved it or you hated it. Like,
so
it kind of goes straight down the
I
middle.
want to get rid of the ABC.
So out of 10.
Out of 10.
So what would you rate this out of 10?
So I give this movie a 6.5 out of 10,
Oh.
which happens to be its IMDb score. I didn't take it from there, but there was a lot of stuff I liked about it. I will say I think that don't let your kids see this if they're too young.
Younger kids see
don't
this.
this movie is kind of in a weird point where it's like it feels a little bit too boring for adults.
Yeah.
And a little bit, and it's way too dark for like young kids. So it's kind of like writing this weird line, and I don't think it necessarily strictly lands that perfectly,
Right.
but I think there's a lot to like about this movie. Again, I mean, if you're going to watch a CGI animal movie, this is leaps and bounds better than the Lion King remake, in my opinion.
Sorry, not sorry.
That's going to be a conversation for another day.
But anyway, so 6.5 out of 10. That's
yeah.
good. That's good.
Do you want to? I know I just changed the score thing on. Do you have a score in mind already?
That I would agree.
You agree? Okay.
I would definitely
Great.
agree. Maybe 6.0, 6.0.
Yeah.
But no, 6.5 sounds great.
Yeah, I think, and I'm
I think
glad I
we
watched it.
feel the same way about it.
I don't really have any desire to go and like watch the
Watch
Jungle
it
Book.
again.
No, but like to watch like the Disney 2016
the Jon Favreau
one. But this was a I enjoyed it.
Nice.
I had a good time. So yeah, let's move on to our second movie. Our second movie tonight is Princess Mononoke from 1997, directed by Hayao Miyazaki. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Princess Mononoke? Sorry.
Princess Mama Monkey.
This is going to be a running thing where I just mispronounce things like an ass. And it just annoy everybody.
So what, you got Mario,
Mowgli,
Mama Monkey?
Maybe it's just M words that I mispronounce.
Maybe.
Maybe. I guess we'll find over the course of this podcast. We will find out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Princess Mama Monkey, you got me doing it now. Princess Mononoke. So we have a really funny story about how I watched this film.
Yes. Okay. So cards on the table. This is we took a week-long break in between our first and second movie. which was fortuitous because Hector had previously only watched the dub,
Right.
and I very much wanted to talk about the difference between the sub and the dub. So I was like, hey buddy, do me a favor and go back and watch that 2.5 hour long movie
Right.
again.
So which I watched it again, and then I tried to watch it again to see the differences, but I was too tired.
Understandable.
So if you go to the HBO Max,
I did do that. So I will have because I have a story about this because you can. Anyways, okay. So why don't you tell us about Princess Mononoke, aka Mononoke Hime, which is Princess's Hime.
Oh, really?
Japanese. Yeah. Anyways.
I didn't pay too much attention. No, so Princess Mononoke, it's a movie that is about a Prince Ashitaka, and it starts off really fast-paced.
Starts off with a pig monster demon attack.
I thought it was a spider, because like when it's like covered in all that, like it looks like spaghetti.
Yeah, it looks like evil
demon spaghetti.
snake worm spaghetti.
It's got like this like crawl.
It is
like
a spaghetti monster.
Crawl. And then when they come out, you see it's a boar. Apparently it's like a god. So yeah, this like really angry god has turned into a demon, and it touches Ashitaka and basically
gives him a curse mark on his arm.
It touches him, and apparently it gives him a curse that he's gonna die. It's gonna spread throughout all his body and kill him.
Yep.
So he has to go into the to another town. I forgot what the town is, but or into the forest, Irontown, and go find this forest spirit, and to see if he can get cleansed and if he can save him. Yep. But also he gets tied into a war with the humans and nature.
There's this whole plot of Irontown is where the main series takes place, and there's the faction of the Emperor and his troops. There's the samurais that are constantly attacking Irontown. Then there's the Irontown people themselves, and then you got the whole nature gods and like boars and bears and wolves that are attacking the humans because they are taking away from the natural elements.
Yeah.
And, so you got this embroiled sort of battle between all these different factions, and in walks Prince Ashitaka, who is here with clear eyes to really he's there to get rid of his curse mark, but little do we know that he's there to sort of be the peacemaker.
He ends up playing peacemaker to these the town and nature, and basically the way that I saw it is basically a story of love, surrounding love, and to do away with negativity and to do away with hate, and to not let hate overcome us, because it just ruins everything. Yeah, that's
main not so subtle thing in this. The curse mark. The curse is really hate itself.
Right.
As you sort of come to realize, it's the physical manifestation.
That's the power of love.
Hate.
Hate. Yeah.
That's the power of hate.
But the hate. Sorry, no, the love overcomes the hate.
Yeah. As we briefly mentioned, there's the dub and the sub of this movie, the original Japanese language, and then the American dub, which has and all of the Studio Ghibli American dubs always get like whoever the sort of bigger people are at the time.
So for the record, it is Ghibli.
Okay, this is going to be a whole side tangent, because I was like, I'm going to look it up online how it's pronounced, and okay, long story short. It's pronounced however you want to pronounce it, because
it's both ways.
In Japanese, they say.
I knew it. I knew in Japanese it's gonna be one way, and then
in Japanese they say Jiburi, but it's based on a word that's actually Ghibli. But then when they when they do like their translators and they do like talks in English, they say Ghibli. So it's like. I would say Ghibli would be correct, Ghibli would be correct, or Ghibli would be correct. And you know what? Pick whichever one feels more comfortable.
And how is it supposed to be in Japanese?
Like in Japanese, they say Jiburi.
Jiburi.
Except like they do like the L's and the R's sound.
Right.
So it's like Jiburi. So.
Like, my name is Hector.
So, yes, it's exactly like that.
Kyle.
His mount is like Yakuru.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that now. But yeah, so in the American dub, we got Billy Crudup as I think it's Crudup actually. Sorry, as Prince Ashitaka. We got Claire Danes as Princess Mononoke.
Right.
Billy Bob Thornton as Jigo, who is just hamming it up in his performance.
Oh gosh. Definitely from seeing the dub version first and then the one in Japanese with subtitles.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell there's a huge difference.
Yeah, let's just talk about the differences real quick because...
Okay, I don't remember a lot of them. I just remember the ones that you told me.
Mm-hmm.
But the feeling of, like, their acting, obviously, the voice acting is very different. It was meant to be in Japanese, so it's going to be that much more intense.
Mm-hmm.
When they scream, when they say things, just from, like, right off the bat, I was like... And then the whole thing about, in the English version, he just straight up leaves, whereas, like... In the Japanese version, the law like says that he has to leave.
Yes, I was gonna say there is a line in there where so when he leaves the town, when he leaves his hometown, and they're like, in the English version, they call her, in the Japanese version she's the Oracle, in English she's the wise woman. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And she's like, in the English version she goes, "I'm sorry, Ashitaka, you are dead to us now. You must leave." And in the Japanese version, it's like, "I'm sorry, like, the ancient laws insist that you have to cut your hair and leave.
The law demands, like, you gotta go."
Yeah, like that's, it just says what it is. So, really, it's just, you know, there's lots. The Japanese version is, or I'm sorry, the English version is much more explicit. There's a lot of things that are sort of left implied. Like, I don't think they ever say lepers in the Japanese version. They never call them lepers, but they are called lepers explicitly. Same thing with the women in the town. They're.
Oh yeah, apparently they came from a brothel in the English.
Yeah,
one.
they specifically say brothel.
And then in the Japanese they say
slaves. They just call them slaves. So it's like, so little things like that. There's of course, I think the biggest problem with the dub, and God love him, I love Billy Bob Thornton, but it sounds like he recorded all of his lines in a booth over one day without even knowing what this movie really was.
I know that his first line.
His first line is "This tastes like donkey piss." That's basically what it is.
Whereas the other one says this tastes like water.
Yeah,
or watered down.
Is this soup or water? It's a little more. Anyways, but
what was wrong with that translation?
So Neil Gaiman I should mention Neil Gaiman wrote the English dub of this movie. Now, Hector, do you know who they originally wanted to write the English dub of this movie?
No, who?
Quentin Tarantino.
No way.
Straight up. Okay, Harvey Weinstein.
Can you imagine how much better of a movie and dialogue we would have?
I have to agree. I love Neil Gaiman as a writer. I would have to agree.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so Harvey Weinstein was in charge of Miramax,
that is crazy.
Who was in charge of the American dub of this movie and many of the Ghibli movies. I'm gonna pronounce it differently every time I say Ghibli. I'm gonna say Ghibli.
Ghibli.
Okay. And do you know the famous thing, the famous apocryphal story from this of bringing over Princess Mononoke to America?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna tell me.
I am. That this is the most famous story about Hayao Miyazaki.
Let me know. Clue me in. I want to know.
Okay, so the movie is 2 hours and 14 minutes long.
Right.
It's the 4th longest animated film of all time.
Oh man.
Which is crazy.
Doesn't seem that long though.
I know it moves.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna talk about it, but and when they were bringing it over to America, Miramax was like, "This is too long. American audiences won't stand for this. We're gonna cut a bunch of this stuff and bring it down to 90 minutes." And Hayao Miyazaki was like, hardline, "No, you're not making any cuts to my movie. My movie is the way it's intended to be."
That's right.
And they sort of were butting heads, and then at a certain point, his Miyazaki's producer sent a katana to Harvey Weinstein.
Oh my God.
And engraved on the katana, it just says "No cuts."
How? Oh my God! How passive aggressive!
Isn't that amazing? That's such an amazing story, and just it's always nice to hear what Harvey Weinstein gets
put in his place. Exactly, I was just about to say that.
So yeah, that's the cool little story about
this movie. The more I hear about it, the more you learn about it. It just gets cooler and cooler.
Yes, and this movie. It's so
I
influential.
love movies like that.
We talked briefly off mic about because you mentioned that you got like Breath of the Wild vibes.
Oh yeah,
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild vibes
for sure.
and which is I'm pretty sure totally based on this. And the other thing that was super interesting that because when I was there's a scene in the movie where Princess Mononoke goes solo ham, like attacking the city. She's gonna kill Princess Eboshi and get a revenge for her wolf pack and for the forest and the forest god. And I was like this is so reminiscent of the episode in Mandalorian season 2 where Ahsoka just like attacks that village in the middle of the episode.
Didn't you say that Ahsoka was based off of Princess Mononoke?
Yeah, I looked it up afterwards, and Ahsoka Tano is straight up based on Princess Mononoke.
Dang.
So, interesting.
A lot of stuff that
Pretty
like
cool.
that just inspired by this movie.
It's actually kind of fortuitous that we're doing this now because did you hear the game Elden Ring that was announced recently?
Yeah. In
that game, they've announced that the mount you have is Yakul.
Oh my god.
It's literally
his
Yakul.
Freaking, what is that, a gazelle?
His elk from his elk mount from this movie. Also, Yakul is a total bro in this movie. Like, what a good guy.
Yeah.
And a good friend.
Freaking like, so there's a point where like he almost dies. Like he gets shot in the back of the leg or something.
He gets like shot through the stomach.
And like he just keeps going and going and going, and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, he gets healed by the deer. That's another thing that in the dub it's called the deer god, and then in the sub it's called the deer god, and then the dub they call it what do they call it?
They just call it the forest spirit or
yeah, I think forest spirit. Anyways, just weird little.
Okay, can I talk about
please
the god, the deer god, or the
what a character?
How one of the most creepiest thing I've ever seen in my life. And what's really funny about this movie, there are moments where it's just silent and it's just staring.
Whenever he's like walking, it's utter silence and complete serenity. It's one of the most amazing like uses of silence in film, I think.
But it's so effective because like I was legit like scared, like what's gonna happen.
It like makes you in awe
because it's got the body of a deer and then the face of like a human kinda
like a red face, but a human. It's got like lips. It's got like chicken feet.
It's got but like this smirk, like this Mona Lisa, really evil like smirk on his face.
The part where it gets shot the first time and its eyes like change. And it starts to like sink into the water a little bit. Oh my god. Terrifying.
But there's parts where it just like, it'll just come up and then like stare into the camera. Mm-hmm. Literally like a deer in the headlights, but like it's in control. And like you're just sucked in, like you're looking straight into it's looking straight into your soul. I'm like, how am I getting this creeped out with an animated movie?
That's like Hayao Miyazaki magic. Like he makes something that like it transcends like this 2D cartoon and just like
stop, your heart stops, and you're just like, what is gonna happen? Like what's going on?
Yeah.
And then it just like scampers away, like you're just like walks away.
It prances. Okay. So yes, I totally agree. Dear God, creepy. What is your stance on the Kodama? The little forest spirits.
Dude, they remind me of the Kokorok, the little
the Koroks.
The Koroks from Zelda.
That's totally true. I didn't think about that, but they totally are.
They show up out of nowhere.
Some people think they're creepy too. I think they totally.
I don't think they're creepy. I think they're awesome.
Cute as hell.
It shows their butt and everything.
They do have little butts.
Little butt cheeks.
Fall into the forest. And you see a little crack.
Go look up a picture right now. What are they called?
Kodama.
The Kodama from Princess Mononoke, or like, and then
look up the picture of the deer god because you'll shit your pants.
Oh my god. That face. That magical face. Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
What else you got? I know you got some like notes written down about this movie.
Okay. Well, let me get through some of the other table settings. So also in the I just wanted to talk about a couple of the good points of the English dub because I watched that. I did this opposite of you and I watched the full thing in the dub. So what I did is I watched the dub, but I kept the subtitles to the original Japanese translations.
Oh, you can do that?
You can do that on the because I watched it on Blu-ray. You can't do it on HBO Max.
Oh, I see.
As far as I know, you can't do it on HBO Max. I did it on my disc.
I barely knew how to freaking watch it in Japanese.
I wouldn't recommend it because it's super confusing because they say one thing and then what's written below it is something completely different.
That's how a lot of animes are though.
Yeah,
like,
they changed a lot, and it's like they changed the strangest things, and some of it is just like you have to make it match the mouth flaps,
right?
And it's just like, oh, I've got to add an extra syllable in there, and but yeah, just to talk about a couple of the cool things. Excuse me, I think Bully Crudup is pretty good as Ashitaka.
Yeah.
I think Minnie Driver, who plays Lady Eboshi, is really good.
Had no idea this is the same lady who plays Lady Eboshi in this movie is the same woman who plays Jane in Tarzan.
Oh, really?
Isn't that crazy?
That's so funny. I do think it's funny that like they have her keep her like British accent, but like nobody else in this movie has a British accent or anything. I don't know. It works because she's sort of like a commanding presence or whatever.
Jada Pinkett Smith definitely does not have her accent. Isn't it
bizarre to have Jada Pinkett Smith next to Minnie Driver and they're both just like doing how they normally
it's like,
talk?
Oh yes, Ashitaka, and then you got Ashitaka, what you doing over there? Like freaking like.
You're so it's a little bit weird.
I don't know why I love my husband, but I love him. And I was like, they couldn't. Okay, no hate to Jada Pinkett Smith, but they couldn't have picked like somebody else.
Yeah, I don't
like, do the dub voice of that character.
It's just, I mean, I like all the voice. To be clear, I like all of the actors that do voices in this.
Love them to death.
How it's put together to make this movie is bizarre. Like I already said, Billy Bob Thornton.
Do you think it was Harvey Weinstein kind of like?
I mean, I think it was literally just like get the biggest people we have right now, get Billy Bob Thornton, get Jada Pinkett Smith, and just let them do whatever the hell they want. And they did, and it's fine. But I just think the original Japanese sub gets better at you'll get a better sense of how this movie is supposed to be seen and everything. The English one is also very silly. Like they don't really add in jokes, but like the things that are funny,
like the whole thing with the donkey piss and the water.
Yeah, like that. When he's saving the two soldiers from the forest, and the one of them is like scared of the Kodama, and that's the same in both. But like in the Japanese version, it's like and then he's just like sort of he's not making any noise, and then in the English version, it's like like every 2 seconds.
Wait, how?
It's like, dude, bring it down like 4 notches. Other good things. We have to talk about Keith David, who's
man,
the best voice in the world.
Good in anything.
I mean, cast Keith David and everything. Just have him be a voice and everything. What a voice! Just he's just the best. The only thing I was sad about is that like
he dies.
He dies. But he plays Akoto, the ancient boar god, and the leader of like the rest of the boar pack or whatever. And he's in like, I don't know, 30 minutes of the movie, and then he like becomes a demon.
A good chunk of it, yeah.
They did make him the narrator though in the English version, so you get a little extra Keith David.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. But, I mean, look up the cast of any of these dubs, and they're pretty insane. But I think one thing is that I think the dubs get better as they go on.
Oh yeah.
Like I think like by like Spirited Away, I think the dub is pretty good, and so anyways, I prefer subs.
My favorite Studio Ghibli film, Kiki's Delivery Service.
Oh, I love.
The dubbed in there is pretty.
Dub is good. Yeah,
good.
I mean
That's Phil Lamar's last.
Phil Hartman's
last performance.
Man, R.I.P. Phil Hartman. Yeah, what a guy. Playing Gigi the cat. Yeah, of course. Phil Lamar. I mean, my cat is named Kiki after Kiki's Delivery Service. So yes, I'm with you there. I love it. And all of these movies, I watched the dub first. I didn't go back and watch the subs until like more recently.
Yeah, I've only seen the dubbed on that one too.
Anyways, that's enough talk about subs versus dubs. That's boring. Even that's not right. I'm totally interested in this, and I could talk for like 10 more minutes.
No, so I want to like go over.
Yeah, well, why don't you tell me your thoughts about it? Just give me your impressions and what you liked, what you didn't like.
You want to hear my impressions?
Well,
right, this is Jimmy Stewart. Well, hi, I'm Jimmy Stewart. We're talking about Princess Mononoke. Look out the window.
Can you give me your best Donald Trump impression?
Talking about Princess Mononoke?
Yeah, I want to hear Donald Trump talking about Princess Mononoke.
So here we are, Princess Mononoke. What a movie. You know what? I thought it was garbage. I saw the dub version.
I totally believe Donald Trump would hate this movie.
My favorite... he's gonna be like, my favorite character, Lady Eboshi. I think she's amazing. What a dictator, what a tyrant.
Very much identified with Jigo. That soup did look like donkey piss.
This movie is donkey piss. This whole entire film is donkey piss. But you know what? If I'm president one more term, I promise I will just knock all Studio Ghibli films out of existence. And we're going to build a wall. It's going to be big and glorious. I promise you.
Princess Mononoke, more like Princess Donkey Piss.
Princess.
I don't have a good Trump. I am sorry, everyone.
You sound like...
I don't know what I did.
Wait, do it again.
Princess Mononoke, more like what is that?
You sound like Trey Parker doing like the trailer voice. Rob Schneider is
a stapler, and I'm president of the United States. Okay, that's enough.
Anyway, my impressions of this movie, right?
Yes. So as yourself.
So my thoughts on this movie. The dub version I saw first, I would have given it like a C, honestly, C plus. Mm-hmm. After seeing the subbed version, I give it a B plus.
Okay.
Still not my favorite. Mm-hmm. I did enjoy it way better though, and it gave me more of a love. I suspected
you might.
Yeah, it gave me more of a love for it. Hearing about it, hearing all these things about it afterwards, it might bump it up to an A minus. I would say.
Who knows?
I'm very interested in I'm a really big behind the scenes guy. And ever since I was young, the minute I got like a DVD of a movie, like legitimately, first thing I did was look at that special features. Mm-hmm. Like just pop it in, look at the special features, look at everything from the stunts, everything from writing, everything from directing, everything from like. And this is me as like a kid, right?
Oh, I love that.
And I was just obsessed with learning about everything. So like it interests me, and it just makes the movie experience that much better for me once I know like what inspired what came from this came from that, or this was eventually, this is what happened, this is how we got that shot, or a funny story about this because blah 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 blah, it wouldn't have worked out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you get all those little details. Yeah. I totally agree. I totally agree. I love all that stuff. I didn't start doing that until much later in life, probably like last 5-6 years, something like that. I will say the one thing that I did, and this is so nerdy, but my first like experience with like director commentaries and all that stuff was when I got the first 4 seasons of Monk on DVD for Christmas.
Really?
And I loved it so much that I was just like, but I've already watched all the episodes. I guess I watched it with commentary.
With commentary. There's an episode of Big Bang Theory where they say that.
Really?
Where it's just like, we're about to start a season 3 of Battlestar Galactica. He's like, you've already seen it. He's like, not with commentary.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's me. Yeah. Like in my room, just like all day watching.
My roommate will do that too when he's just like, didn't you already watch Mission Impossible like the other day? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm watching the commentary.
I'm doing the behind. I'm watching the special features, man. It's just like it's normal for us, but it's not normal for other people.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I love it.
That's what DVDs are for, man. That's what physical media is for. Is for you to look like, to be in on like what happened behind the scenes.
I asked for my birthday last year. I asked for The Sopranos on Blu-ray, like the entire series.
The whole set. Did they give it to you?
And my parents got it for me, and they're just like, this is on HBO, right? I'm like, not with
the special
commentary.
Yeah.
Also, have you heard of streaming compression? Get with it, parents. No, I was kidding. Sorry, that was a joke for no one.
You guys are all, yeah.
Streaming compression is not a joke, though. Moving right on.
It ruins lives.
I just wanted to point out that I did write in my notes, the Dear God is creepy AF.
As flan?
As flan, yes. I also want to talk briefly about, this movie is freaking brutal. And much like Mowgli, it is not really a kid's movie.
Yeah,
it's more for like
the first shot of Ashitaka like clearing a dude's arms off with his freaking arrow, my jaw was on the floor.
Right?
I literally was like, Okay,
unexpected.
This is not it. This is nothing like Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yeah, seriously. And then like 2 seconds later, somebody's decapitated by an arrow.
Oh my gosh.
This movie's brutal. I will say it's not bloody. It's not like blood gushes everywhere. It's more just like a clean.
The impact.
It's more like a clean. It's like a ham hock.
The penetration.
Yeah. I will say that I watched a couple of the like theatrical trailers. That the special features are not very exciting.
They're not very
like. There's no director commentary.
It's not extensive.
There's a couple like there's some storyboard stuff, but they had the theatrical trailers and like the movie spots, and I watched it, and every single trailer has the shot of the dude's arms getting cut off by the arrow,
just like on the
and
tree.
then immediately the guy getting beheaded by the arrow.
Oh my
and I was just like, is this what's bringing the crowds in? Like just like horrible decapitations and limb dismemberment.
From the studio that brought you Kiki's Delivery Service comes a brutal.
I will say this is what I think this is his 7th movie or his 6th movie. No, it's his 7th movie. Most of his movies are before this are more of this nature. Although 2 before this is My Neighbor Totoro, which is like the sweetest, like most
family
warm bath
movie.
of a movie with like where everyone's just like
That's like everybody's favorite.
just like a nice family. I mean Totoro is a masterpiece. Hayao Miyazaki is one of my favorite filmmakers also. We talked about Wes Anderson, who's another one of mine. And
They compare it to like the Disney films of like Japan.
Excuse me.
That's what I heard in one of the interviews, or one of the articles that I've read. But it's so much more than that. I think it's more than just like I don't really think it's really fair to compare the two, because Disney's like this whole empire, and now just like Disney's kind of become this kind of weird thing of like it's just trying to be like just own everything, and like there's a lot of good content that still comes out from Disney, but it's not like it used to, how like everything was a banger and everything was like whereas like everything from him is just top notch.
He's never made a bad movie.
Yeah,
he's never made a bad movie.
Even the worst movies, they're pretty good.
His worst movie is
Watch Yourself.
I'd have to think about it. It's probably like how
I just read an article of like they were like ranking all of his films too, and I just can't remember.
Yeah, and this one's not my favorite either. This one's probably like my like 4th or 5th favorite. Yeah. I the only Miyazaki movie I haven't seen is his most recent one, The Wind Rises.
I have not seen that.
Have you heard about what movie he's making now?
No.
This might make you cry, because it makes me cry to read about it. He's making a movie called How Do You Live? And it's adapted from a book, but he said the reason he's making it is because he knows he's going to be passing on to the next life soon, and he wants to leave a movie for his grandson to help like explain where he's going and like. And
I mean, I'm not crying, but if I see it, I'll probably cry.
It's very like just reading that makes me go like, oh God, my heart.
I mean, he's getting up there, right?
He's yeah. I don't want to think about it. Okay. He's gonna live forever.
Let's talk about something else. All right, so. No, but I would probably. Oh, so we're not doing letter grades anymore.
Yeah, we're gonna sorry, I do have a couple more things to talk about real quick. Oh yeah, sorry. To go back to what you were saying about Disney, I would say the American counterpart is Pixar specifically, and I know they actually I know Hayao Miyazaki and like Brad Bird and like the Pixar folks actually had a pretty close connection. I mean, Pixar obviously is. Pixar, it does 3D animation beautifully. I mean, those are the 2 best animation studios, right? Pixar and Studio Ghibli.
Ghibli.
Ghibli. Anyway, Ghibli. However you want to pronounce it in your heart, Ghibli.
Whatever you feel inside, just let it out.
But yeah, I mean, I would say those 2, right?
Yeah, no, I would agree.
Okay. Couple just little random tidbits. Okay, right. So the wolf.
So we're getting fun facts on top of our regular fun facts.
Yeah, well, you'll get a fun fact at the end of this. These are just fun.
The
tidbits.
main fun facts. Okay, tidbits.
These aren't fun facts. These are tidbits.
All right, let's hear them.
Okay, so that so in English, the wolf is played by Moro, the wolf god, is played by Gillian Anderson.
Okay.
From the X-Files, and they sort of just put like a demonic like under her voice to like make her sound like scary.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And in Japanese, the wolf is, even though the wolf is, I mean, it's a wolf mother, it's a female wolf. It's voiced by a dude. And that's because I guess Japanese lore has some weird thing where all wolves are voiced by men, and all cats always, no matter what, are voiced by women. So
Really?
But interestingly, the guy that plays Moro the wolf god in the Japanese version is a famous drag queen in Japan. So they got a guy to do the voice, but they got a famous drag queen to do it because it's a girl wolf. It's a mama wolf. I don't know.
So they kind of like.
So they sort of like I don't know if that's
They
like
kind of found like a
casting
loophole
joke.
or
Yeah,
something?
I guess so. I don't know, but that's kind of a fun little thing. Did we talk about the music? The music in this rules.
The music in every Studio Ghibli
Yeah,
film is amazing.
I sometimes I just listen to the Spotify playlist of just like
Doing what?
assorted, just like studying or playing games or whatever. It's just relaxing. It's so good. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I do that with
Yeah.
Pixar music too, like the Up soundtrack.
I do
too.
that with like John Williams music and
Hell
stuff
yeah.
like that.
I mean, yeah. I love Studio Ghibli films. I love Hayao Miyazaki.
So what would you rate this?
Well, a beautiful movie. I love it. Go check it out. Especially if you played Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, you
Oh,
can
you're
say
gonna
it's a
love this
film
movie.
adaptation of
Yeah.
that.
Watch the Japanese version with
you
subtitles.
You can give me your score first.
My score? Okay, so
I don't want to influence you.
So no, I would give this. What is it? 1 through 5?
1 out of 10.
1 out of 10. Okay, I would give this probably an 8 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I will say I'm
After hearing all the behind the scenes stuff, 8.5. But what were you gonna say?
I'm happy that I made you rewatch it with the sub, even though
yeah.
that's like 5 hours of your life. I just think
Just gone.
it really does make a difference. I would recommend if anybody has seen it, but they haven't seen the Japanese original language, I would check it out. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I would give this a 9 out of 10. Like I said, I love Hayao Miyazaki. I love just hanging out in his worlds. I just think everything is so beautifully animated. I mean, he's such a like stickler for all the details, and like he paints or draws a really good portion of these movies personally, which is not something you could say for like. I mean, Brad Bird's not animating the frames for Incredibles like personally. So yeah, it's a masterpiece. I think all of like literally every single Hayao Miyazaki film rules. This isn't my favorite, but it's still great. And yeah.
So yeah,
that's all I have to say about that.
Between Mowgli and Princess Mononoke, I would probably go back and view Princess Mononoke.
Oh yeah, if we're choosing between the two, no question.
But Mowgli, Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah, Mowgli, Legends of the Hidden Temple, starring Mark Summers.
The Jungle Book 2.
We can't do this. I know this is funny for us because it's a week later, but we did that an hour ago in this episode. Okay, Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle. Yeah, I mean, check them. I mean, Mowgli's fun.
Check them both out.
I mean, Mowgli doesn't put a candle to Princess Mononoke for me, but it's worth a watch.
Check them both. Why can't I speak? Check them both out.
Yeah, check them out.
Check them out. They're really, really good.
So yeah, just so we gave, I think we agreed to 6.5 or 6. I think you said 6 or 6.5 for Mowgli. I did 6.5.
And then
you did an
8.5.
8.5, and I did a 9 for Princess Mononoke.
I think they're pretty much the same.
What?
No,
yeah. I see
our
what you're
opinions
saying.
are kind of the same.
Yeah, 6 is basically a 9. No, I'm just kidding. All right, well, why don't you take us on out of this episode, and I'll get my fun fact ready.
Oh, there's a Rolling Stone, so that means we must be out of time. So thank you so much. That wraps up another episode for Watch This Part, a film and TV podcast. I'm Hector.
And I'm Kyle, and the fun fact for this week. Fun fact, for the 1995 Oscars, 3 of the 5 nominees for Best Original Song went to The Lion King.
3 out of the 5.
3 out of 5 in this category. So, The Circle of Life, Can You Feel the Love Tonight, Hakuna Matata, and then we've got 2 movies I've never heard of. Look What Love Has Done from Junior, and
No clue.
Make Up Your Mind from The Paper. Now, would you like to guess what won? Best original song.
I'm pretty sure "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" won, didn't it?
That's what won.
Yeah, Elton John.
But is that
baby.
crazy? 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5
for one movie.
The power of Disney and Elton John.
To be clear, I agree. Also, I've never heard of these other movies.
Yeah.
Maybe the songs are amazing. I don't know, but that's wild.
And with that, we're out. Bye.
Bye.
And now, here's some exclusive behind-the-scenes bonus content of Watch This Part, a film and TV podcast.
So, let me start that over.
Go ahead.
And, God dang it. I totally lost my train of thought. But, okay, so...
I'll probably add this at the end of the podcast.
Okay. So, okay. All this... okay. Bringing it back around. Starting over-ish. Just making Hector's editing job as hard as I possibly can for him.